Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and today is my October wrap-up. I'm filming the 1st of November. Obviously it's half term, so the lovely Mia's joining us and Thomas will probably come and say hello at some point. Hopefully he'll be good at the end. Hopefully he'll be a good boy. Well, I knew I wouldn't read as many as last month because this month's obviously been packed full of big, thick October books.
And obviously it's the weekend, so she doesn't have that much time.
And more like I've had half term, so that's been kept me busy. But I've read a total of 23 books, which is still fantastic. Yay! That's still fantastic considering the month I've had. And like I said, it's been October, which has been a lot of thicker, bigger books. And I've not had as much time to read children's books. I've also included one audiobook, which I really loved. Currently, as I'm filming this, I'm sort of halfway through an audiobook, so it's kind of going to be, it'll probably go into my November wrap up. And I did start a November book a little bit early because I was a bit cheeky, but we'll talk about that another time. Anyway, let's start off with the worst books and then we'll go to best. So I've had a total of 4 2-star books, 1 DNF, which you all know about because I didn't like that, 4 2 stars, 1 3-star, 5 4 stars, and the total of 7 5 stars. Yay! So to me, it's not been my favourite reading month because of the fact that I've had some really tough books. But this isn't including obviously the October ratings, which will be in my October wrap up, which I will link below. But let's get started because I was on around. Mia's going to pass me the first book. This was my DNF. This is The Conviction of Cora Burns. It is beautifully written, but it was so hard hitting.
Beautiful.
But it was a library book that I picked up without checking it out, and I actually found it too hard hitting for me. There was some major trigger warnings, and to me, it was just too hard, so I had to give it up. And I'm gutted because it's a historical fiction, and Tom and Julie, I really wanted to like it, but I couldn't. So yeah, don't pick that up if you don't want trigger warnings. So that is, and then, actually, my worst book of the month. What did I say my worst book of the month was going to be? Yes, I did.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
I'm actually so surprised. I thought she would love that.
I thought I'd love that. It was technically for my October, but seeing as I read it after I'd filmed my October wrap-up, I'm going to include it in this. But it was only 2 stars. I really, really hated it. The film is so much better.
Yeah,
I
way better.
absolutely loved Heartless, which is the retelling of this, and it's almost like a prequel retelling. But this, I found it so hard. I hated it. This is also Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Through the Looking Glass side was a lot better, but I didn't understand any of it. It made no sense. I may well keep this for Mia just in case she enjoys it, but I don't know because I'm not sure because I didn't enjoy it at all. And if I didn't enjoy it, I don't know if she will. So the next one is.
I know she didn't like it.
Actually, I'm gonna show it in a different order than I was planning to tell her. This is Black Orchids. Julie gave me this. I wanted to like it. I really did, but I didn't. It's basically a historical fiction set in the 1940s and 1950s. Originally, we are in somewhere like, I think it's almost sort of Taiwan, that area, sort of over there. Sorry if I'm not getting it right. And there's a white British lady, young girl, who meets. She sort of almost wants to be at the start set up with a guy, another white guy, but she falls in love with Emil, who is from that country. He is quite a rich family over there. The cultures are completely different, but she falls in love with him. One of my favourite scenes is at the start where it's probably actually my favourite scene in the whole book, where they ride off on a motorbike together and and she just gets to really enjoy herself and she's thrilling and she loves it. But she doesn't enjoy herself. So yeah, set in Ceylon. But Evelyn, then basically things become quite tough for the British people over there. So Evelyn's family move over back to England, and it just doesn't work out. It doesn't work out very well because just cultural stuff. And then obviously they have a son, Evelyn, and I will tell you obviously Evelyn and Emil have a son, and the culture difference. Evelyn, their son looks more like Emil, so mixed race at that time there was a lot of racism, but she was also very lonely, and her life wasn't the way it was expected. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. The characters weren't lovable. I didn't enjoy it, and I'm really, really sorry, but sorry, Julie, it wasn't one for me. That's going.
I know she didn't like this book.
Yeah, I knew. This one I've only just finished yesterday, which was my buddy read with Linda. I was also reading it for the readers. I Put a Spell on You readathon. Frankenstein is a total classic. My friend Sammy said, "Oh my god, she could not believe I didn't like it." It did go up to a 2.5 star rating, which also but it just wasn't good. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. There was about 1 million plot holes in it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it, and I found it really, really hard. Frankenstein is a total classic. It was just outside the Victorian era, but I didn't like it. I don't think I'm going to keep it. I really wanted to love this, but I didn't. It basically is the story set. It's Mary Shelley's book, and it's sort of like a ghosty story. Yes, there are some horrors. It's another horror, which the horror side of this wasn't scary. I didn't dislike it.
To me, it looks like it looks really, really scary.
But it
not
wasn't.
like
I was
that
expecting it to be scary, and it wasn't. It didn't get me. I found, like, at the start you're in letter writing format. Then it goes to one character speaking, the sort of creator of Frankenstein. Then you're in Frankenstein's bit. Then you're in here, the other bit, and there's all the different people talking, and I didn't understand it, and I didn't like it. So I'm not even going to talk about it very much because I just say it wasn't for me. The ending was really good, which got it up to 2.5 stars, and there was a bit where the actual monster was talking about when he was talking, and the way that people were picking on him and being nasty to him, that was gut wrenching, and I hated that bit. I hated it in the fact that I felt for Frankenstein, but at that point was probably one of the best writing bits to me. So yeah, not for me. I'm not keeping that. Definitely
I actually thought she would like this one.
This one, so I thought I would like. It was an extra book I put it in because I needed something to read before the end of the month because I achieved all my books. It was actually one of my books that was on my 10 books I want to read before the end of the year. And you guys didn't vote for this, but do you know what? I didn't like it. No wonder why you lot didn't vote for it. I have liked probably 1 or 2 of Sinead Morarity's books. But I'll tell you what, there was one that I really loved about the sisters. A second one that was kind of iffy. The third one, no. Basically, Mia, stop. Basically, it's actually the 4th in a series about this family, Emma and James. And because of that, I hadn't read the earlier ones. Now, Gaia actually said that you should have read the earlier ones before I read this. And I really think I would have done because maybe I might have fallen in love with the characters more. But I didn't. It wasn't great. It's got 2.5 stars, but it's not one for me, and it's going back to charity shops, and I hope someone else loves it. I will say, if you read the other books in it, then great, but the writing was just boring. I predicted the baddie in it from the start, which is never good. I hate it when I can predict what's going to happen in a book. But no, there wasn't enough twists and turns. Too predictable, not for me. Bye-bye. Now, the next one is a 3-star rating, and I wanted to love it. Tom loved this book. It was a Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock. So many people have loved this. I don't know what to do with it. It's a beautiful book. It's a hardback book, but I didn't like it. I just don't know what to do. I don't know whether to give it away, whether to try it again at another time.
Can you give it away to me when I'm older?
No, not at all. No, it looks beautiful, but it's not. It's got quite a few trigger warnings. It's about prostitution. It's about issues that I really shouldn't speak about in front of young children. There is a lot of trigger warnings again with this. It's supposed to be mixed about fantasy, but I didn't really see the fantasy side in this. I really, really struggle with this, and I'm gutted I didn't like it. We're already 8 minutes in, so I can't really go over it too much, but the Mr. Hancock gets his sort of the person who was sailing his ship brings him back a mermaid. He says, "I've sold your ship, but I bought you a mermaid." Does not make sense. And then there's characters in prostitution. It's just didn't grip me enough. But I'm so sorry, Tom. I wanted to love it, but I didn't. If anyone wants to read this, like Charlie, I don't know whether I'm going to give it to Charlie or not. Whether I just don't know what to do. Please let me know if it's worth keeping this and trying it again. I don't know. That's one of the ones. It's 3 stars. Normally it was 3 stars straight away. I'd be giving it away, but I'm not because I just don't quite know yet. Now we're on to the 4-star rating books. Oh, I didn't realise. Yep, that's 4-star. This is A Year and a Day by Isabel Broom. It is a beautiful book. Now, the authors even like my reviews for a second time. It's a beautiful book. It's a very nice, contemporary, easy chick lit. It was gentle, which I wanted it to be. There's basically 3 people that have gone off did a way to expect to Prague. And the way they've all got 3 women that have got very individual stories. So Megan is a winter escape with her friend Ollie, who's a chance for inspirational for a 4th upcoming photography expedition. So you're obviously going to get an idea. Boy and girl go together, you can kind of predict that a little bit. Hope is a surprise treat from Charlie, who is this, she's sort of recently, she had an affair with this guy, with Charlie, and left her husband for him, and they're going away to Prague. That's quite a nice storyline with that. That was quite nice. And then Sophie, a city that has been full of magical places, and she's counting down the moments till her boyfriend Robin arrives. It's really, really good. It is 4 stars. I love it. Again, I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep it. I think, as much as I love Isabel Broom's work, this one is not. Again, it was quite predictable. Although there's actually quite a lot of. Yeah, don't do it. There's quite a lot of twists and turns in the end, which really surprised me and I really enjoyed. Well, but yeah, I did enjoy this. Again, I think I'll give it away because I think I want someone else to read it because it's that good. It's beautiful. Isabel Broom writes beautifully, so pick her work up. The lovely Tracy bought me another one of her books and I can't wait for it. This one is 4 stars, but it's not. I'm gutted about this. I really wanted to love it more. It's Veronica Henry's work. Now, I spoke to her on Twitter. Lovely author. She really is lovely. And she said this was one of her favourite books, but actually it's probably one of my least favourite of her work because it's basically lots of characters are going away on the Orient Express, but there's too many lead characters in this for me. I buddy read it with Gaia. We both love the stories. Their individual stories are brilliant. There's people that go off in their individual, and their stories are beautiful. But there's so many lead characters, you get quite lost. So that's my only problem. Again, it's another one that's going to be going bye-byes because I did love it. Thank you, Veronica Henry. If she's watching this, it's a beautiful book, but it's probably not one of my favourites. It's now a case of I'm going to pick up one more book of hers I might buy, but she's quite a nice contemporary chick lit, and I like it, and it's comfortable, but it wasn't exciting, kabooming, or it was quite predictable, whereas the last one did have a few twists and turns. This one, it did have twists, but I just got lost, so I'm really gutted about that. Now the next one is The Librarian.
I knew she would like this.
I did like this. I think I'm going to be giving this to my mum because she will love it. Thomas, get off the book. Thomas is playing with my books, which is naughty of him. But this is brilliant. It's about a librarian in a village. Again, it's quite contemporary. It's a mixture of historical fiction because it is post-war. It's set in 1958, so I think that's kind of historical fiction. Let me know. So Sylvia Blackwell is fresh from new post-war library schools and she takes a job as a children's librarian. And she's got to get children excited in books. I love the book references. There's references to loads of other books, which is something that I really, really love. It's quite contemporary, quite interesting, quite good. Nothing boom, boom, boom. So Mum will try. I hope Mum tries it and then it will be given away because still not boom, boom, booming enough for me. But it was definitely worth it and I'm definitely glad I picked it up. I will definitely look for more of Sally Vickers' works because it was beautiful. But not one for me to be keeping. Now this next one, my lovely, lovely mum's friend Margaret. She's one of my mums. She's almost like a second mum to me because I've known her since I was not much older than me. I've known her since I was about 9 or 10. And she's a lovely lady. She gave me this. It's set in Morwellan, which is actually a proper Cornish place. And apparently my mum said I've been there. And this is historical fiction at its best. It may be 4 stars, but I loved it. And it deserves to go on to another person to love because it's that beautiful. Rebecca Westwood is a very free-spirited girl. And she is a daughter of Merlin Curé's respected harbour master. And she meets the sophisticated Captain Adam Bradley. There's lots of twists and turns in this. It goes on for quite a nice long time. It's a really, really good book. If you like historical fiction, if you like romance, but be prepared for the fact there is some trigger warnings. There are some gruesome things that happened back then that I found was quite hard-hitting. Beautifully written. A lot of things I didn't expect, but I did love it. And my lovely friend from Rainbows, Anna, is going to be having it next. But if anyone else wants it, let me know. I definitely would say pick this up. If you like historical fiction with a mixture of contemporary, hard-hitting, mystery, fights, everything, pick it up. It's beautiful. Now, hang on a minute. Mia's going to be giving my 5 stars. But I did have another one, which was my audio book, which was Sleeping Arrangements by Madeline Wickham, otherwise known as Sophie Kinsella. It's an audiobook. I don't normally pick up chick lit books on audiobooks because I find the way they're spoken is not as good. But that one was really good. It was a 4-star book. It definitely makes me want to pick up more of Madeline Wickham's books, actually, because I actually enjoyed that more than I loved another one of her books that I've read that got a high rating. So Sleeping Arrangements is definitely one to pick up. Because I don't have it in front of me, I can't remember all of it, but it is really, really good. It's basically 2 different families go off on holiday. They're not expecting to sort of have each other there, and there's some past influences. There's some bits and bobs from each other's past that was quite interesting. I loved it. please pick it up. Out of all, if you want to pick up a Madeleine Wickham book, pick up that one. It is really, really good. So now I go on to my 5-star ratings. I will tell you my favourite book at some point when you least expect it. I think I'll probably say it last. But I tell you what, because the fact this month was quite tough, the Victorian books were amazing and I loved them, but you really had to focus on them. And some of these other ones were crap. So I'm so grateful for my 5-star ratings because they really picked me up. I didn't need this slump. I sort of almost had a reading slump where I pushed myself to read so many books, the Victorian ones, the other ones. And I found like I just was pushing myself to read when I didn't always want to. So these 5-star ones am I thankful for. So I'm going to give you the one that is actually, it was for my I Put a Spell on You reads on. It's Prince Caspian. I don't need to tell you more about it because it's one of the Narnia books and it's the second one in the films, the third one in the fact that the writing chronological order. It is really, really good.
You've got the
Narnia's
on our rack.
Yeah, I've got all of them. I've got the whole series. Chris bought me all of the series. It is beautiful. It's better than the film, and that to me is saying something. It's probably one of the best book to film. Oh my goodness, it's better than the book. It's just amazing, and I loved it. I read it at night. I'm reading The Voyage of the Dawn Tread this month. It is beautiful, so pick it up. I've only got 4 minutes to tell you the rest of it. This is Proud. It's a short stories of LGBTQ plus characters. 5-star. Charlie lent it to me. She's getting it back now. Blooming amazing. If you like short stories, if you like, I would say YA, if you like LGBTQ stories, it's beautiful. It's brilliant. It was amazing. I'm so grateful for Charlie for lending it to me finally. That's going back to Charlie. The next one is a library book. It's going to be 5 stars. It's Frigid Cabin. I love it. It's actually the second one. There's almost like a series, so it's the second one. I should have read the first one first, apparently. But you kind of don't need to. It's about each day Rev struggles with the memories of the demons of the time before he was adopted. He was managed just fine until a letter from his birth father brings hellfire, fear and danger back into his life. Emma escapes life in online group games she built herself. Virtual reality is much easier than real life. Then another player joins the game and suddenly ultraviolet threats start streaming. This is blooming amazing. It's my first Frigid Cabin YA book. Because I don't really count the other book as YA. I just don't know, although it probably is. But this is brilliant. I picked it up at the library. Wish I didn't have to give it back. I love Frigid Cabin's work. Talk to her on Instagram as well. She is one of the most lovely ladies. If you like YA, if you like things like that, pick this up. Oh, by the way, there is lots of twists that you do not expect in this book. It's bloody amazing. And there were literally points where I was on the edge of my seat. I'd never move off my seat. I'm lazy. Brilliant. Pick it up. Wish I had more time to talk about this one. Remembered by Yvonne Battle-Felton. Charlie, another one Charlie lent to me. It is beautiful. It's historical fiction. It's got slavery, emancipation, rape, trigger things. But it's blooming good. If you like historical fiction, if you like hard-hitting books and prepared for them, pick this up. It's amazing. One of the best books of the month, and I loved it.
It's really good.
It is. I wish I didn't have to give it back to Charlie. But the best book of the month has to go to Silk and Jenny by Heather Morris. I could talk about this more, and I would talk about it more because it's one of the best books. Yes, I got excited. Chris ordered this. You guys know it was on one of my lists of books that I wanted to read this year. One of my new releases that I had pre-ordered. I pre-ordered this. When it got in the door, I screamed, this is worth it. It's a follow-on from A Tattooist of Auschwitz, but it's not fiction, it's more non-fiction because it's Silka's story can't be told because she never managed to get hold of her. But some of this is the facts we know about Silka's journey and things that sort of like stories that she heard from other people about what happened in the camps. It's so hard-hitting, guys. I will warn you, there's a lot of triggers with rape and oh my goodness, the slavery. The things that happened back then in those camps were hard-hitting and horrible and gory and disgusting in points. But the writing was amazing. This is the best book of the year. If you've not read it, why? If you like historical fiction, if you're prepared for hard-hitting issues, pick this up. It is blooming brilliant. If you guys want an individual review of it because it was that good, please let me know in the comments below. But I've got 30 seconds to tell you the last bits. What was your favourite book of the month, guys? Write down in the comments below. Thomas, you can come and say goodbye to everyone. This has been an amazing month, and I am so
really excited about it.
But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed, ring on my ding-a-ling. Like I said, let me know in the comments below what's your favourite book of the month. Take care, guys, and see you all soon. Bye.